Welcome to the Honest Dog Breeder Podcast with me, your host, Julie Swan, where each week we dive in to discuss all things dog breeding so you can build a breeding business you love, producing dogs that fulfill their owners' dreams. I believe you can have an honest dog breeding program that also pays the bills. So throw those pods in your ears while you're cleaning kennels. I'd love to join you. Do you have a favorite drink at Starbucks? Sometimes I feel a stress release just walking in, knowing I'm going to enjoy a nice cup of coffee in a few minutes. I know what I'm getting. I know the taste I'm looking for. And Starbucks creates the experience for me every time I take a sip of their specialty coffee. I rarely have a bad experience with Starbucks. Just the same, I'll be honest, I drink a fair amount of McDonald's coffee when I'm out on the road. Their coffee is also very repeatable. It tastes the same wherever I go. This is especially helpful on road trips where McDonald's are the main alternative to gas station coffee. It's always a wild card getting coffee at gas stations. I'm always a little worried it's going to be super bitter or acidic, or worse, burnt, sitting on the burner too long. I want to enjoy my coffee, so when I find what's working, I'm more likely to keep coming back. Starbucks and McDonald's have incredible brands. They are so well known. You can tell it's a McDonald's commercial on TV so easy. You can walk into any Starbucks, and while they're all a little different in style, they all feel like Starbucks. They all give that unique feeling you get just when you walk in. That feeling you expect, and then those expectations being met, are the sign of a good brand. Branding is a little abstract as a concept, so let me give you the quick and dirty on what a brand is. Initially, it helps to think of the branding elements when you think about a brand. Things like brand colors, fonts, logos, even the personality in the copy or writing on the website and in social media. Really though, a brand is the feeling you get when you interact with a business. It's the perception you have of the business, their products, their customer service, and who they are as a business. Good brands will give you the same feeling with every interaction. They have a flow. It all works together. So that if a brand were a person, you'd feel like you were working with the same person, the same personality in each interaction. In essence, you can trust the feeling you get from the brand, and that's where things get interesting. Consistently getting that feeling means you can trust you'll get that feeling working with the brand. Trusting that feeling translates to trusting the business and its products. I'm not sure if you're feeling it, but I'm feeling it. The market is shifting, not just in dog breeding, but the whole world economy. Things don't feel as reliable as they once were. They feel a little unpredictable, and I see more and more people who are out of sorts, looking to feel secure, looking for something they can trust and rely on. A brand helps you create this feeling for your buyers. It helps you build trust with them, something that is especially important in these days with the economy. You know that friend you can always call, they'll always listen, give you great advice, and be supportive? In essence, they are consistent in their interactions with you. They feel like the same person every time you speak with them. Their reactions are so reliable that even when they aren't with you, you can see something at the store and know they'd love it. Or you can see a funny meme and send it to them knowing they'll enjoy it. That consistency makes you trust them because you know what to expect. This is why when you watch those murder TV shows, the motive is so important. Have you ever noticed how when the husband kills the wife, you don't really get paranoid? The motive makes you trust that you probably wouldn't be next. Yet, what about those random murders where some woman was picking up milk at the grocery store and then never comes home? She was randomly selected by the killer and there was no way of anticipating the attack. It makes you feel a little uneasy because you can't rule out that you could be the next victim as easily. With Bill, I figure if I keep making him dinner, there's a lot less chance I'll be on his hit list, so I don't worry about him murdering me. In essence, the brand of the random killer is inconsistent, so that's why it can't be trusted. On a side note, you ever notice how it's easier to be friends with people when you only see them in one part of your life? Like people at work. You don't usually have negative interactions with them because you're both consistent in the venue you interact in. Yet, when you get to know someone better, you start to see all their sides. Not that they're bad, but if you look closely enough, most people are hypocrites, believing contrasting ideas simultaneously, in at least a few areas of their life. The more ways you know someone, the more opportunities for complication in the relationship. That's why your significant other is probably the most complicated, yet rewarding relationship you have. They're your person. You're roommates. You share a bathroom. You share a bed. You share a bank account. You share a vehicle or two. You share work experiences and home experiences, families and friends together. Essentially, statistically, there are just a lot more opportunities for complications there. Anyways, if you feel like the brand of your significant other is a little complicated, that's probably why. This is why consistent brands build trust. You need trust for people to buy. One of the biggest concerns buyers have when buying from a breeder is that they'll be scammed or that they'll be supporting a puppy mill. We can use our brand to help quell those fears. Next, a brand will help attract your ideal puppy buyer. You know how you're not supposed to judge a book by the cover, but we all do? That's kind of how your brand works with your ideal puppy buyers. You can use your brand to attract your ideal puppy buyer. Think of stores that you saw the logo, and even if you didn't exactly know what was inside, you wanted to check the place out. I think of the Cheesecake Factory. I love me some cheesecake, but the factory part got me interested. I wanted to know more. It was big and bold, and I thought, gosh, I bet they have some really good cheesecake. Same with Caribou Coffee. I mean, it was a fun brand color scheme. And while they were out in the wild, they were also refined and drinking coffee. The lodge-like feeling I got with the wood in the interior of the buildings made it feel warm and inviting. I wanted to know more. I wanted to try their coffee. As buyers, not only do we feel trust with a brand before interacting with them, but we also feel like we want to fit in there. You'll notice that Caribou Coffee often sprung up around colleges first. They were playful in a way that Starbucks isn't. You don't see a whole bunch of people in dress suits walking into Caribou Coffee in the same way that there is at Starbucks. Just the same, I wouldn't dream of going to Starbucks in pajamas, but I recall seeing some similar attire at Caribou Coffee. They're different businesses with different brands. They have the same product, but different ideal customers. As a college student, I felt like I belonged at Caribou Coffee. I didn't get any weird looks from study buddies when I suggested we study there. We all aligned with the brand. When you design your brand, you want to design it around and for your ideal puppy buyer. What do they want to feel when they have your dogs? If they want calm and cute, then you probably don't want to opt for black and red, bold fonts, and bold words. It wouldn't give the feeling your ideal puppy buyer is seeking, so you would have a hard time attracting the ideal puppy buyer because when they interacted with your brand, they would feel it was too much, too crazy, too busy, and too much chaos for them. You'd do better building a brand with softer colors, cuter, simpler fonts, things that align with the dogs you're creating and the feeling your buyers are looking for. Lastly, you want to have your brand speak to what you produce. Using the example of the black and red colors with the bold fonts and words, you may find that attracts your ideal puppy buyer, the people you want to work with. But what happens when the dogs you produce are not what they're looking for? Say with my bird dogs, I could design my whole brand around family dogs who hunt, having all the calm and fun colors that my ideal puppy buyers really relate with. I could really screw things up if I didn't have dogs who lived up to that desire. If I had dogs that were strict field trial dogs with so much energy that if you didn't take them out to engage their drives intensely all the time, then they would leak that drive out in the most obnoxious ways. If I didn't select a temperament that went well with kids, then my brand would not align with my product. Nothing ruins trust with people and damages your brand like a misalignment of brand and product. Could you imagine if Starbucks had the brand it has, but every time I got coffee it tasted different? If sometimes the cup was 2/3 oat milk and sometimes 1/3? What if the coffee tasted different at every McDonald's? I wouldn't go there just because they had the same logo. In fairness, I get a stomachache after every burger I have at McDonald's. It is consistent though, so I consistently don't interact with their burgers no matter what McDonald's I'm at. I feel I can trust their "I'm loving it" slogan with their coffee, but not with their burgers. You'll also see brands that are inconsistent with their products and might catch yourself using the brand's slogan in satire, pointing out the inconsistency. We have this local dealership in my town, and all their radio ads say, "Nobody beats one of our deals, nobody." Yet, it's a lie. They consistently have the worst deals and highest prices. For a purchase as large as a vehicle, it's a no-brainer to buy the vehicle somewhere else. I don't trust them because of that. I feel like they're lying from the start. On the other hand, take Discount Tire. By definition, they have to have good prices. It's in their name. I generally check, but they consistently have better prices on tires, and they have excellent customer service that is repeatable. I get the same service, good service, time and time again. It makes it an easy choice to go there for tires. They simply do what they say they do, and I trust it. Side note, I did find out they have 3 employees per state whose only job is to check prices of all competitors in that state to make sure their prices are the best on tires. You have to give them credit for that dedication to their brand. This is why it's so important to know what you are breeding, know what your dogs are really like, continue that consistency, or change it if you don't like what you're producing, so that you can make the perfect puppies for your ideal puppy buyers. Then build your brand around giving your buyers the feeling they want when they buy one of your dogs. That's the key to a good brand. As you may have gotten an inkling, I love branding. That's why I'm so excited that this month's masterclass inside the Dog Breeder Society is all about designing your brand and aligning it with your ideal puppy buyer. Everything from fonts to colors to logos to how you write the words on your website and social media. It's full of examples both in the business world and through fictitious dog breeding programs. If you aren't yet a member of the Dog Breeder Society, you can check it out at honestdogbreeder.com/yes. Just YES. You can always send me an email at julie@honestdogbreeder.com if you have any questions or need assistance. Thank you for listening to another episode of the Honest Dog Breeder podcast with me, your host, Julie Swan. I'm so glad we can spend this time together. I'll see you in the next episode.